Well, here in southeast Texas, pretty wet afternoon across the area as expected. Some 1 to 2 inch rains across parts of the area. That was due to a cold front that's coming in overnight tonight. We had a lot of heating today and plenty of moisture, that's for sure. No severe weather, so that's certainly good news there. And our Roofing 911 Skycam Network over in Orange, sponsored by the Horseman's Western Store. Still pretty much overcast conditions and getting a pretty good break in the rains now. There's still a chance overnight of some showers, maybe a couple of thunderstorms redeveloping, I mean mainly to our southwest and near the coast though, but we'll keep a 30% coverage in overnight till that front comes through. Our Roofing 911 Skycam Network here in Beaumont, sponsored by Packer and Appraise. Starting to see a few breaks in the clouds, but still overall a cloudy sky this evening across the region. And once again, some pretty good rain totals here in Beaumont. In fact, here at the station, we had 1.5 inches of rain this afternoon. Parts of Beaumont, 1 inch to 1.5 inches. Port Arthur had about 1 inch. Orange County saw actually a little bit less than they did yesterday, but still some pretty good rains in spots. A little bit less up in the northern lakes area today. In our Roofing 911 Skycam Network outside our 12 studios, sponsored by Mid-County Plumbing. Still lots of clouds out there, still plenty of moisture in place. That front will technically move through the area. It looks like around 11, 12 o'clock tonight, but it's not a strong front. Don't get real excited about it, but it's kind of like the last front we had a couple of weeks ago where we got down into the 60s for lows and highs in the 80s. It was mainly just dry air, and that's going to be the case with this front as well. But you can see, looking off to the south and southwest, still lots of clouds. And let's go to our Cameron Finette. Gator country down there. The Gators dodging some rain showers today. Also overcast conditions there, and they also picked up over 1 inch of rain down in the Finette Gator country area this afternoon. So pretty good rain coverage, that's for sure. And we'll see the possibility of a little bit more rain overnight. Once again, most areas probably won't, but until that front comes through and we still have a lot of moisture in place, we'll keep a 30% coverage going in overnight, less up in the lakes area. So big rains today, certainly across the area. And let's head up the lakes area, see what's going on up there on our Roofing 911 Skycam Network up in Jasper, sponsored by Pervalis. Pretty much cloudy skies there as well, mostly cloudy anyway. Getting a few little breaks there up in the lakes area. I don't think you'll see any redevelopment of showers up there overnight tonight. Some slightly drier air and more stable air will continue to work in from the north overnight tonight. In fact, you'll probably end up with lows near 70, pretty comfortable in the morning when you wake up in the lakes area. And highs tomorrow will certainly be a little bit better than they have been. We've been in the low 90s with a lot of humidity lately, only in the 80s for highs tomorrow. And all right, down in Port Arthur, our Roofing 911 Skycam Network, sponsored by Market Basket. Things are pretty quiet. Few breaks in the clouds down there, but still pretty much overcast conditions. Port Arthur, you had about 1 inch of rain today on up into parts of mid-county. Some pretty good showers and thunderstorms working from southwest to northeast across the area. And currently temperatures running in the mid to upper 70s down there. Now you'll have a little bit better chance of rain overnight tonight, especially near the coastline, as that front nears the coast coming up around midnight. And our final stop over in southwest Louisiana, Roofing 911 Skycam Network over in Lake Charles. Also overcast conditions. You had a little bit of rainfall today as well. Here lately, southwest Louisiana seems like they've been kind of missing out on a lot of the rains that we've had here in southeast Texas, but they had a pretty good showers and thunderstorms though over the last few days. And your weather looks pretty nice too coming up over the course of the next several days. Now your weather headlines: weak cold front will work through the area overnight tonight. That's eventually going to lead to some cool mornings, warm afternoons, but with low humidity, especially beginning Friday through the weekend into early next week. Speaking of next week, after tonight, no rain's expected through much of next week, at least through next Wednesday or Thursday. Maybe by the end of next week, the moisture will start coming back at that time. But boy, it looks beautiful after tonight as far as the lower humidity, the drier air coming into southeast Texas. That's going to be pretty nice, that's for sure. Temperatures not bad now. This is mainly just due to cloud cover and rain we've had today. We're mainly in the 70s in the Triangle, 80 in Silsbee, 79 Kerrville and Jasper. Still lots of high clouds still moving across the region. Kind of a mixture of low and high clouds right now in the Triangle. So we'll go with mostly cloudy skies overnight, that's for sure. There'll be some breaks though in the clouds overnight tonight. Notice most of the rains have now moved into Louisiana. A couple little thunderstorms out ahead of the front, southeast of Interstate 10, just southeast of Sealy, well out west of Houston. That's moving east-southeast. So like I said, we can't completely say the rains are over overnight, but certainly as far as a huge coverage, that's not going to happen. But we'll keep that chance in, mainly from Interstate 10 southward near the coastline coming up until that front comes through a little after midnight. Tonight, notice the wind's kind of variable across the area. That's mainly just due to the rains we've had today. The true front still back off to the northwest. But some of those thunderstorms that really got their act together as they moved east of the Sabine River earlier, producing some pretty heavy stuff now just northwest of Lafayette. That big thunderstorm about to move right across them today, or at least within the next hour. Radar's pretty quiet. A couple showers there in Calcasieu and Cameron Parish. A couple more have popped up pretty light there around Taylor's Bayou. A thunder shower right over downtown Houston right now. Now the cold front's just to our northwest, just to the northwest of Woodville, back down to west of Houston, drifting very slowly to the southeast. And there's some of those showers and thunderstorms we had here locally earlier over around Jennings at the present time. Those are moving, by the way, to the east. All right, let's take a look at temperatures, see what this front's doing. Now, the reason we were a lot cooler today, we certainly had the humidity still, was mainly just due to all the scattered showers and thunderstorms we had in clouds. We stayed in the upper 80s. Lake Charles at 77 degrees. We'll have to see if I can get back to that map. Pushed the button a little bit too fast there. There we go. Let's see what we look like across the state. 86 Houston, 83 College Station, low to mid 80s. So that's much better than the mid 90s they've seen lately in North Texas. So it's not a strong cold front, but you'll notice the difference basically over the next few days. Now that's very nice in Amarillo. How about 69 degrees there, 77 in Little Rock. And of course, we'll have highs here locally tomorrow in the mid to upper 80s. That'll be nice, and that drier air will slowly start sinking into the area. There's the front. It runs from about Little Rock. It's through Shreveport, just about through Lufkin now, north side of Houston. Not a lot of activity with the cold front now since we're losing daytime heating. This was mainly along prefrontal trough ahead of the front, but we'll get the front through here in the next 3 or 4 hours, and then from then on we'll slowly start seeing some drier air working in from a North Texas. That's good news there. So not much rain expected really overnight. There's the front to our northwest. Look at radar, some showers along that front to our southwest. I think we're in pretty good shape here locally as far as any more rainfall overnight, maybe along the coastline up to mid-county, possible as the front gets closer around 11, 12 o'clock this evening. Notice the area in green here. That's still very good moisture levels. You get outside the green, the air's a lot drier. The air's drying out behind the front. Notice this white line here. I'm gonna sink into the southeast. There it is, very slowly. That'll reach us throughout the day tomorrow, and we'll be in for several days of comfortable weather. But still lots of moisture in place. Anything over about 1.7 is a lot of moisture. So we're well over 2, still lots of moisture, but watch this slowly start drying later tonight, and by tomorrow at 3 o'clock, drier air moves in, and even drier for tomorrow night and Friday. That brown color, some really dry air, low humidity Thursday night into Friday. So it looks like another good night for high school football coming up too, all the way into the weekend. We're going to extend this into Monday and Tuesday as well. Speaking of the cooler weather, here's a look at forecasted low temperatures as we head for Saturday night into a Sunday morning. Now, Saturday morning will still be comfortable too. We're looking at probably mid 60s Saturday morning. I think Sunday morning may be the coolest. Low to mid 60s in the Triangle, but look at the upper 50s up in the lakes forecasted there. Sunday morning, well, that'll be nice. Get out early before the sun gets up. It'll certainly feel like fall in the lakes and even here in the Triangle. Like I said, low to mid 60s, not too bad. And that 68, 69 Port Arthur will feel better than it actually showing as far as temperature there. So it'll be nice. Certainly going to feel like fall coming up over the next several mornings once we get past tonight into tomorrow and into the weekend and on into next week as well. All right, tropics, nothing in the Gulf. We've seen nothing in the Gulf all year long thanks to that strong wind shear, and that's going to continue the next several days. Here in the Northwest Gulf, we're considered the Northwest Gulf. I think we're in great shape the rest of the season. Northwest Gulf. I think we're okay for the rest of the year in our part of the Gulf. Now the Southern Gulf, Eastern Gulf, you still may see some activity in the next couple of weeks, but I think here locally, I think we're in pretty good shape. I think we're in good shape. Caribbean looking good. Watching one system now southeast of San Domingo. Potential for this to develop, we'll see. Now the system east of it we've been watching has now become Tropical Storm Umberto. Well, that name sounds familiar, doesn't it? It'll strengthen over the next several days as it works northwest, eventually becoming Category 1 and Category 2 hurricane status. But this too should stay off the east coast of the U.S. Certainly neither one of these will be a threat to the Gulf, so that's great news. Now if this system can get its act together here and work on off to the northwest, it could get close to parts of the east coast coming up next week, but no threat at all to the Gulf of Mexico. All right, let's take a look at Futurecast, see what it's showing tonight. I think it's doing a really good job. Certainly not much rain showing up now. Not really redeveloping too much overnight, except from about maybe mid-county Port Arthur southward. Late tonight, as that boundary reaches the coast, you get the interaction with the front and the land breeze. That could help generate some storms. Sabine Pass, High Island, maybe as far north as Port Arthur, mid-county before daybreak. But most of the area will remain rain-free and mostly cloudy overnight tonight. Throughout the day tomorrow, partly sunny. More clouds and sun tomorrow, but there will be some sun, and we will begin to clear later in the day. Notice these blue arrows here on Futurecast. That's northwest winds. That's what we like to see this time of the year as we get a little bit deeper into fall. Of course, fall just started, but it'd be nice to see the northerly winds across the area tomorrow. Tomorrow evening looks beautiful as well. And don't forget, you can text us at 409-749-9302 if you have any weather questions at all. We'll check the phone here in just a second, see if we've gotten any messages. Just about out of time here. Your marine forecast, northwest winds around 10 knots, water temperature 88. We'll keep rain out for the lakes tonight. Only a 20% coverage for inland southeast Texas. Now for the Triangle, still a chance until the front comes through with lows in the lower 70s. And for tomorrow, decreasing clouds, highs in the mid 80s with northwesterly winds. And once again, 7-day forecast, no rain after tonight for the next 7